Oh my gosh, y'all. It is a new day. It's a new day. And I am coming with a different type of energy as we enter a different year, a new year. Um, I want to tap you guys in to the journey of surviving the narcissist for MamiSoTrue. As I share what I'm about to share with you, I hope that it inspires you. I hope that it pushes you further, higher on this journey. I want to talk about what really urged me to start this journey. What even got me to become so open-minded to this information about narcissism and narcissists and narcissistic abuse? What made me so interested in just learning about people? My answer is I got tired of not feeling happy. I became tired of looking happy, coming off happy, but not internally feeling true happiness. I'm not going to say I've never been happy. I've had happy moments prior to the healing journey, but it wasn't a lot. There were so many emotions being suppressed. There were so many situations that I tried to forget because they were so traumatic. I almost kind of forced myself to make them go away or disappear. But the thing about trauma is that is impossible because it doesn't really disappear. What it does is it starts to sit in your body. It starts to show up in your relationships. It starts to literally manifest into a mental illness for you. Now here you are trying to find answers to cure yourself. And when I say you, I'm talking about me, guys. If you're new here, let me take a moment to welcome you to the podcast. This is Surviving the Narcissist with your girl, MamiSoTrue. I'm a survivor, now thriver. I'm awoken. After narcissistic abuse, I'm a new being. I'm in a renewal process. And I've been refined. I'm still being refined in a lot of ways though too. Because I believe growth is it's never ending. So welcome here. Please reach out to me if you would like to work with me as a life coach to navigate life just in general or while you're going through this type of abuse. You may be like me and you've suffered this type of abuse your entire life. It's been in family, it's been in the culture you grew up in, it's been in the environment you grew up in. What you called home was not a safe home. But you didn't learn that until now. And I can relate so much. So don't hesitate to reach out. Please email me at MamiSoTrue@gmail.com. And check me out on all platforms. You can find me everywhere. Just search for MamiSoTrue. And I'd love to hear from you. Shout out to those of you who are back listening to a new episode. Much love. Much love. So guys, there came a time in life where looking in the mirror was so painful. I just did not like who I was. I didn't like the fact that I accepted being some kind of an outlier. And I felt that I was a problem. And in the environment that I was in, it just looked like I was just the odd one in. Like it just, I was just, I couldn't compare to others. I couldn't really relate to others. And I suppressed who I truly was because, number one, growing up in a narcissistic environment, I never got to be myself 100% of the time. So I learned to hide parts of myself to please everyone around me to keep the peace. And by that, I'm going to go even deeper and tell you it was more so a religious thing. It was the first type of abuse that I experienced outside of the narcissistic parenting. I guess the second type of abuse that I experienced outside of narcissistic parenting was religious narcissistic abuse, where the Bible and religion was weaponized. And I'm saying the Bible because it was supposed to be, and I'm putting air quotes up, it was supposed to be a Christian home, but I cannot express to you how much nothing about what I saw in that environment was godly. Not in my opinion at all. It was fake because the results, the outcomes, the things that were happening to the people in these environments were confirmation that God wasn't there, you know? And so I got to a point in my life, this was in my early 20s, where I realized I'm just not happy. And I slowly started to pay attention to the world around me. And I started paying more attention to me. And I started walking away from being afraid, because that is the thing that was keeping me stagnant. It was fear. Fear was making me unhappy because I was afraid to be me. I was afraid to step out and live my dreams. I was afraid to be bold and, you know, have different beliefs, different thoughts. It wasn't up until this time when I said, I'm not happy with this person that I see, because I know who lives inside of me. I know the type of joy that lives inside of my heart. Why don't I see that? Why isn't it manifesting? What's going on? So this is when it all started. When I started to love myself, everything changed. Of course, this was not an instant part of the journey because, man, it's been almost 10 years. Probably over 10 years now. I started to love myself in that time, even though it was very minimal, very small acts of self-love. I was doing it. I started detaching from my family more and more. I stopped telling them my plans, my whereabouts. I stopped giving money, and I started doing things for myself. I started traveling, started learning different types of people. I started reading different types of books. I started learning different religions, different cultures. I started opening my mind. And year after year after year, it was more liberation. Of course, challenges and obstacles, but it was so liberating to know that I was creating happiness for myself. I wasn't depending on someone else, needing someone, looking for someone to do it. I was creating it for myself. And I know I was probably looked at crazy for some of the decisions that I made, but looking back at it now, if I were to do it again, I would do the same thing. Because I didn't know what I was doing then. Everything I was doing was leading me closer and closer towards. The more curious they became as I distanced myself more and more from all of it. The drama, the conversations, I was answering my calls. I was answering calls less and less from family members, specifically my mom. I was ignoring her messages that constantly reminding me of world news and issues, just negative posts, negative things to keep your mind in fear. I started to reject all of those things. And to them, I was coming off mean. But to me, I was creating peace in my mind and my heart. I was increasing my energy frequencies. I was stepping more and more into my light. I was discovering my purpose. Every year that I remained high boundaried or no contact and focused on just doing what I needed to do to heal from all of the crap I'd seen and witnessed and went through. And these years from that 20-something year mark to now, I've been happily making mistakes. I'm not saying I wake up and I say, oh, today I'm gonna go ruin my life. But I have been so kind and gentle with myself. I've learned self-compassion is key going through this. You're not going to be smart. You've probably been sheltered. You're going to learn a lot of things the hard way. So you need to be kind to yourself. You have to learn how to not be your worst critic. Yeah, you want to criticize yourself because you want to check yourself. You want to make sure you're not, doing things that are bringing negativity and harm your way. You want to try to aim to be the best person that you can, but the reality is, healing from narcissistic abuse, you have to allow yourself to grow. You got to be willing to grow. And that's where I got to, that led me to the healing journey. For a lot of you, this is a similar route because something in your heart just kind of got tired of where you were in life and how things were looking, how people were treating you, how those close to you claim they love you, but you just don't feel it. You just don't see it, and how they want you to feel crazy because they're crazy. It's so disturbing to be around these type of people. And the beauty about healing is as you continue to heal, you gain so much resilience against narcissistic people that you'll be able to manage your emotions if and when you have to be around them. Because we're going to have to deal with these people sometimes. And if you become empowered enough to compose yourself, empowered enough to slay the negative, frequency of narcissists, you are truly winning in life. And I say that wholeheartedly because narcissistic abuse, it destroys people. And when someone finally snaps into reality and starts to put two and two together, you start to, really embrace what you feel instead of doubting it because you've seen it. You've been watching it your whole life. You've sensed that things were off the entire relationship. You've been watching your family your whole entire life. You've always felt so different from the rest of them because you saw how wicked they were, the things they were doing, how they were treating people, and then how they treated you, the cruelness, the meanness. Narcissistic families are so cruel, so mean. Talk about everybody, but they will never talk about their self and what they're doing, And then the ones that put up that picture perfect family, but man, behind closed doors, there's all kind of deep, dark, sick secrets. It's crazy. It's crazy. And to grow up in this type of environment, or to even be in this type of relationship, it can destroy your sense of self. It can destroy who you are. It can break your spirit. You have to be determined to not allow it. You have to be determined to seek the life that you see for yourself. You have to be determined to go against your mother, your husband, your narcissistic child. Whoever it is, you got to be willing to just let your greatest self shine. Stop trying to dim your light to keep peace around these demonic people. Stop trying to hold back to protect their feelings. You know? Who cares about their ego? They need to get their self together. I had to step into that version of myself, where I trust myself more than what I've been taught. Because everything I've been taught through narcissistic abuse is all wrong, has been wrong. Love was wrong. What I knew about parenting was wrong. What I knew about being a sibling was wrong. What I knew about how to pursue my dreams was wrong. Started life believing that I had to chase the dreams they wanted for me. So by the time I took my life back, I'm already close to 30. But part of that self-compassion was me saying, it's okay. I'm going to live and heal and embrace whatever's left. Because thank God I've survived this. I've escaped this. I've escaped this, and I'm continuing to. And the older I get, and the more I create these conversations with you guys, the more I have these conversations with you guys, the more confirmation I'm receiving that doing what I'm doing is the best thing I could have ever done with my life, which is to give back to others by sharing my story, by telling my experiences, by growing with you all, standing with you all, and being able to tell you all what I did and what I'm doing to get to where I'm going, because I truly believe that you all can do it. Everyone listening to this, more than capable of being in the place in your life where you truly want to be. The happiness that you see, you're more than capable of getting that, being there, living that life. We've been taught so many wrong things. For me, religion was one of those things. When I asked myself, am I happy? I had to look at the way I was tapped into the religious cult, because that's what it is. Religion was used to control my way of thinking, was used to control my perception of life. Religion was used to affect how I judged my body, how I judged everything that I did. Religion made me feel completely empty, because religion didn't teach me God. The people teaching religion don't have God in them. They're trying to be God-like. Religion taught me how to serve man, how to trust man with my life, my spiritual life. Oh my God, do you know how bad that sounds now to me? Almost scary to even think about it. Anybody else out there had a mother who sit there and call pastors to pray on her and pay them, and
We were getting prophesied on left and right about how our life was going to be. And because of these prophecies, my mother till this day is kind of stagnant in her life. Not even kind of, straight up is. The prophecies that she believed for my sister, dead. None of it came past. She actually is way opposite. They used religion to control her family. And that is linked to the cultural narcissism, because the culture we're from, the West African culture, if it enforces religion because it's about control and dominance. What can we teach people to get them to do what we need them to do, to bow down and believe what we need them to believe? Living in fear. I had to let that go so I could be happy. I had to let how they would look at me, how they would feel about me, how they would... I could no longer care. This is why I talk about being unbothered so much. You can't afford to care. You can't afford to care. You need to free yourself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Allow yourself to let go of these limited beliefs that's been installed in you to keep you stagnated in life. That's what narcissists do. They instill limited beliefs in us. They tell us what we can and can't do, what our body should be and should not be, who we can and can't be with, what God we should serve, or who God is. Like, it's just, you're not allowed to be your own self. You're not allowed to think for yourself. You're not allowed to think different. And if you dare be different, you're outcasted. Because how dare you see the truth and speak on it? You're the bad guy. But you gotta not care about any of that. Care about making sure your soul is fed with fruitful things, good things, making sure that you're learning what true love is for yourself and for the world. Making sure that you're allowing yourself to step freely into your purpose and your call, because you're so highly gifted. So highly gifted. And this is how it all started for me. If you're listening to this and you're like, well, if I ask myself, am I happy? I don't know. What makes me happy? If I ask myself what makes me happy, I don't know. You got something to think about. You got some things you might need to work on. You got some perspectives you might need to reshift and reframe. Yeah, I know. This journey is a real journey, guys. Be kind to yourself through it. Allow yourself to heal. Love yourself unconditionally. And give yourself time. If you just don't feel like you're nowhere near it, trust me, you're gonna get there. You're gonna get there. Just keep going. Keep thriving. It's always so refreshing to talk to you guys. Thank you for listening. I'll see you back on another episode. Until next time, guys, stay blessed, stay true,